Europe may be facing a new crisis, and this one not related to terrorism. There's a decreasing supply of life's most critical commodity, water. Dozens of European countries are expected to face shortages in the decades ahead. Some are facing it now. Our Scott Thuman went to Rome to witness the most recent challenge to one of the empire's greatest achievements.
The ancient city of Rome was built on 7 hills and in part on the genius of Roman engineering. For millennia, waters have flowed freely, a symbol of Roman power and prowess. They were the first to build thousands of miles of aqueducts to deliver drinking and bathing water to its people and secure a civilization that stood while others collapsed. But suddenly, water is in short supply. Some of the taps are alarmingly being turned off, and Rome is a little less Roman. Like Narcissus and his water reflections, elated masses of selfie-taking tourists use the famous fountains as backdrops for relief from the heat and for their own version of Hollywood hopes and dreams, Roman style.
3 coins in the fountain.
The Trevi Fountain is just that spot. In fact, when it comes to Rome, these water features, whether the Pantheon, the Piazza del Popolo, or the Spanish Steps, are a draw to tourists from around the world seeking history, romance, and a drink.
I'm from Belgium, and you never see it in Belgium. You always have to pay for free water. Here it's for free. That's marvelous.
It's beautiful. It's great. It's just really easy.
It's kind of a lifesaver when it's
I've filled this up 6 times today.
I found that there are 2,500 fountains in Rome, and the water travels like 70 miles away from Rome, which is that's amazing.
But this summer, the empire has been struck back. A drought almost unparalleled in decades, coupled with a heat wave so severe it was nicknamed Lucifer, has the eternal city looking less invincible. Government officials have begun shutting off many of those famous drinking fountains, urging conservation, and have even debated rationing.
Is it fair to call this a crisis?
Now we have a crisis, yes, but we can solve it.
Maurizio Del Monte is a professor who studies the forces that sculpt the Earth's surface. He says this is a wake-up call regarding Rome's greatest commodity.
So you're worried about the water supply for citizens?
Yes, yes.
It's that serious?
It may be a problem.
A problem even for the Pope. For the first time since anyone can remember, the pontiff has ordered these majestic marble fountains greeting Vatican visitors off, along with almost 100 other fountains around the holy grounds.
Is it a message that they send by turning off fountains?
Yes, I think it could be a good idea to tell people don't use too much water, and explaining the reasons.
Today, when we were at the Vatican, at St. Peter's, they had turned off the fountains. They could not remember the last time they've had to turn off the fountains.
No, I don't remember. I think it's a symbolic thing, but it's a good idea.
Though an equally pressing issue is underground.
While you wouldn't know it just walking here along the Tiber River, Rome is leaking. Roughly 40 out of every 100 gallons of water simply lost, and more than 1,200 miles of pipes in need of urgent repair.
The city is now scrambling to replace a system that is losing in a battle against time, and now has devolved into sinkholes, crumbling roads, and Del Monte worries eventually building collapses. And while so far it's only been a couple hundred of the almost 3,000 street-side taps turned off, it is more each month.
But I've heard on the radio they would like to turn some phones off. Should be a shame. They shouldn't do that. Yep. They're famous for their water, so let the water scream.
But even if the pipelines are shored up and the skies open up, it's not a guaranteed solution. Del Monte says increasingly concerning weather and warming patterns that also cost billions in agricultural losses could become more common, leaving Rome tapped out.
We cannot say if in the future this trend it's going to continue.
But it's very possible that this could happen again next summer or the summer after that?
The future is open, I think.
Is there a way to know if over time Italy has had this sort of thing before?
Well, look, historians will tell you if you go centuries back that severe climate change may be one of the many reasons for the fall of the Roman Empire. No one's suggesting this would be as catastrophic, but it is one of the hottest and driest seasons they've had in 60 years and presenting some unique challenges for Rome, a city that's been called the Queen of the Waters.
Really interesting and still beautiful even when the fountains are
You're
dry.
right about that.